I was wondering if she still does.
Hello, Mel.
She can show you how to do it. I don't.
How are you? Yeah, I'm getting into salvage.
Action.
I laughed. I thought that was the barrel of a gun, and I could just see it fall.
Welcome back to another video. I'm really excited. We are going to do part 2 of the 210 grain Accubond Long Range. We are bringing my 300 Weatherby, which this time is suppressed. I'm hoping that helps. And I'm also bringing along the 300 WSM with the 210. Really hoping we get some sub-MOA groups today from both rifles. Hope you enjoy the video. This will be the first time I've shot my 300 Weatherby with a suppressor. The suppressor is an Anechoic 30L. We're going to shoot the 200 grain Accubond first as a baseline.
That was the barrel of a gun, and I could just see it fall. I laughed. I thought that was the barrel of a gun, and I could just see it fall.
And I can even feel it grating in there.
I did. Back in the case. Not bad. Just in case you do it up there.
The gun.
I don't know.
300 WSM
It might.
Yeah.
and 560, 65 grains.
I don't know.
We're gonna
if
play
you're
with
one
seating
that
depth
cleans them every
this
time before
range
you put
trip.
them away, but
They probably should.
Volume away. Dan? Yeah. Did you hit everything? Just move it to where I want it to, and then light one off.
you're gonna do that just by
A ballistic chart on my put in on light it off.
North and like
Yep.
74 grains, 210 ABLR, 300 Weatherby.
Kind of my long range.
You can't see where you hit, so you ain't gonna get pissed off.
come in America now.
No, because they've been bought out. Roof up here. What's this? What? America's oldest gun company.
Okay, I'm loving the suppressor so far. Definitely the sound is a lot less than a Break 300 Weatherby, obviously. Groups seem to be about the same, so I haven't seen any improvement yet. But we're going to test that with one of my hunting loads. Recoil's not terrible at all. I would say it's like an unbraked 6.5 Creedmoor. I'm liking it a lot. Okay, so I did shoot the 200 grain Accubond out of my 300 Weatherby, and it's shooting about the same as it always have, around an inch. Nothing special, but not bad. First group of the 300 WSM, we're not very good. I don't know, that's probably an 1.5 inch group. 300 Weatherby showing a little bit better, but still not great. Hopefully the next couple groups of 300 Weatherby get better. One last thing, I've been shooting my 223 with the 77 grain Burger off camera. And first group, that's a half MOA group, so it's promising with the 77 grain Burgers.
Something happening, and they're in the decision-making position. They're telling different people to do things. So even if you destroy
300 WSM. Meh. Let's see if the suppressor improves accuracy. This is my hunting load that shoots around 0.8, 0.9 inch groups. Let's see if we can get something smaller with the suppressor on it. 300 Weatherby terminal ascent.
Your pistol on the friendly competition now. It's not been shot yet. Correct. Oh, is that for me? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know it.
All right, so I just shot my terminal ascent hunting load. I think it shot a little better than it usually does with no suppressors, but I'm gonna get up close and really see what it's like. I'm really liking the suppressor so far. We're gonna do one more group of the 210 ABLR, but it's not looking very good in either rifle, really. All right, there it is. So that looks to be probably a 3/4 inch group. That's pretty good. Again, this load is usually around 0.8 to 1 inch. So So I'm pretty happy. It's at least staying the same and maybe a little better. Last load with the 210 grain ABLR. Hoping for a miracle here.
So Baden Powell spent a lot of time in Africa. In fact,
Bullets shoot like crap.
some do that.
Well, 210 ABLR in my gun and in the 300 WSM sucked today. So I'm gonna have to try some different powder. IMR 7828 is not the powder for 300 Weatherby and the 210 ABLR. But I'm really happy with my hunting load with the terminal scent. It did shoot better than it usually does. So that's a great sign. Guys, I'm loving this suppressor. All right, I'm back from the range and there's a bit mixed feelings. I definitely had some darn good results. And unfortunately the ABLR it's not going to happen, at least with IMR 7828 SSC. But my very first group with my suppressed 300 Weatherby, this was kind of my control group. This was just a test to make sure everything was working okay. And we just got a 1.005 inch group. That is about what it normally gets, whether it's barely under an inch or right at an inch. So that was really nice. My first 210 ABLR group happened to be the smallest group with the ABLRs. And it's the smallest group I've ever gotten with the 210 ABLR and 300 Weatherby. 1.421, but that is definitely not good enough. Yep, I'm gonna have to mess around with some different powders. I think the disappointing part of today was the 300 WSM. I had a lot of high hopes. The first time I took it to the range, it was showing a good amount of promise. Now I did change the seating depth to see if we could get the groups tightened. It looks like it made it worse. So at least in my experience with the Accubond Long Ranges, if the closer I get to the lands, the tighter the groups usually are. And then the next group was, I guess, a little better, a 1.5 inch group. Still not great. I definitely was giving it time to cool down. I know a lot of you are saying with that being a Remington 700, it likes to have a flyer. But yeah, I was definitely giving time for the barrels to be cool. The highlight for my 300 Weatherby was my 200 grain terminal ascent load with H1000. We are going over 3,100 feet per second. And previously it gets 0.8, 0.9, 1 inch groups, which is good enough for me, right? I'm keeping things within 400 yards. That's plenty good. So I'm seeing a little bit better accuracy. I'm not sure this is conclusive to say a suppressor is making my 300 Weatherby shoot better, but with the little data I have, it does seem like that might be the case. We will definitely test that in the future. But this is just under a 0.7 inch group, which I'm real happy with. With that velocity, this bullet is awesome. All right, lastly, let's not forget about my 223 Remington. I'm shooting a Remington 783, really cheap crap rifle. But it seems to like these burgers decently well. I think all the groups got sub MOA today, but this was the best one, the first one. The powder I'm using is BLC 2, I believe. And I'm real happy with that. That's a half MOA group. And it's just kind of fun to shoot 223.